Hi folks, it's Kat.Beanie and welcome back to my long-term survival world. So last time I was doing some mining, get some more diamond blocks, and I think I'll just continue with doing that. As you may know, if you have been here before and seen a video on the long-term survival world with me mining, this is my mine, my original mine, and this is pre 1.19 generation, so that means I can't remember 118 or 119, but this is pre, deep slate update generation. So a lot of this, I can still mine diamonds at Y11, which is a little bit easier because that if you see a red line, it means there's a mob spawner that way. It's a little easier because not only I don't know what my first point was, but my main point was basically that cobblestone is easier to mine than deep slate. So there's that. It is easier for simply that reason in general. So I'm just gonna take a note of the time because I have a habit of going over my time with videos. I do one of my other videos uploaded was just like literally just gameplay, because I wasn't recording or anything. I was just playing for fun. And I don't know if you guys like watching videos where it's just people plodding along, not actually talking to you. I did have requests when I was doing my Sims 4 videos just for gameplay videos without any obviously voiceover or anything like that. But I'd feel like me personally, if it was me like watching something like that, that'd be like something I'd have on in the background while I was trying to like accomplish something else, and just like casually watching while I'm doing something else. Like if I was gonna think I'm a big old granny, but if I was like crocheting or something, or knitting or something like that, one of those that I like to do, then I would probably have something like that on in the background. But I do like to listen to people talk as well. Which will suck when I eventually do lose my hearing, because then I'll have to actually concentrate somewhat on the subtitles. Whereas now I'm at the point where, like, I don't hear everything, but I can usually pick up on the subtitles or by watching people when they speak. Much to my husband's dismay, because he keeps telling me to wear my hearing aids and I effing hate them. But it's probably getting to the point where I actually do have to wear them consistently now. I took the little one to the local toddler group the other day, and I could not hear a word this other woman was saying, and she was talking about like her own personal experience with starting to go deaf, and obviously I'm sitting there like a fud staring at her mouth trying to figure out what she's saying. Like just smile and nod, folks, just smile and nod. And also a lot of people don't believe you that you're deaf when you don't wear your hearing aids. Apparently you have to have a visual representation of your disability somewhere on your body for it to, be really real. But yeah. That's like just another one of the things of obviously people with disabilities not looking disabled. It really I mean, how are we supposed to look? Shall I get you a placard? Although I do understand it, because society has been taught that basically a version of what a disabled person looks like. Oh, they're in a wheelchair, or they're, you know, cognitively declined. I don't even think that was an appropriate way to say that. Cognitively disabled, to the point where it would be blatantly obvious to a layperson that, you know, that the other person was disabled. A lot of society until recently wasn't exposed to disabled people that look like them. But thankfully now it's becoming a lot more common. I'm gonna get myself killed in a lava. Don't do that. Thank you. Did I not get any diamonds? Oh wait. Did I pick these up before or after? I don't know. Anywho. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I really need to extend the power trails. Not that they're very fast. You know what I should put in? I should put in a blue ice boatway in here. That would take like a lot of blue ice though. And I can't remember if I've got a silk touch pickaxe. So there's that. Right. Do this, and this. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Not those ones. Those ones can stay out. And yoink. There we go. And I've got my horn. Got my horn. Oh yeah. Horn. It would be good if the goat horn was effective with pillager raids. Now, why have a goat horn? Oops. That is the same as the pillager raid noise when, like, it would, if it was up to me, which it is not, unfortunately. How good would that be? You can do whatever you want with Minecraft for a day and it will stay that way forever. People would pay for that. There you go, Mojang, there's a business deal for you. Well, a business idea, not a business deal. Anyway, so if it was up to me, I would have had the goat horns call the pillagers to you during a pillager raid. Because you know you have that noise which signifies like where the pillagers are. So if you were able to duplicate that noise by way of goat horn, then you could essentially call the villagers to you, and that way you wouldn't have to chase them about the village looking for them, because sometimes they're really hard to find. Like one pillager took me hours of gameplay to find because he was stuck underneath a hole in a like cave system underneath the village, and I couldn't find him for ages. I was like, it's just so annoying. So yes, but obviously if they're trapped somewhere, how are they going to get out to come and kill you? But that's just my small take on that matter. Where are the diamonds? I need more diamonds for my bank. Like, I did make this whole big speech in another episode, probably a long time ago now. Say a long time ago, it's probably like last month or something. About wanting to get to 500 diamond blocks before the end of the year, and I'm nowhere near 500. I'm not even like I'm not even almost at 200 diamond blocks. I have like
That's what
literally
it means,
let's
it's like you look
I,
at the
I
pizza,
just
what
checked
pizza season.
my phone like
Can leave them
literally
one
a
day
couple
to
of minutes
the
ago
oven.
to see what time it was, and did my frazzled brain actually take a note of the time? No, it did not. Although I don't think I've actually been in this video for pretty long, so. But then I don't know if anybody else does this, but like I start a video, it's like, oh, I'll make a little 20-minute video because I find like I don't have the best attention span, and going on me personally, I'm just gonna check my volume, guys. Yeah, going on me personally, I find that 20-minute videos are good for me, unless it's something like I'm really, really interested in. Like obviously, if it's an IBX like a video, then I'll watch that crap for hours. But like if it's something I'm a little less concentrated on, then 20 minutes is fine before my attention starts to go, oh, there's something shiny over there. So yeah, I find my 20 minutes is like probably a stretch for my videos at the minute, because like I know some of you people don't like watch what I'm doing, some of you just listen to what I'm doing, which is perfectly fine. Like you do you, however you absorb this content. Well, probably shouldn't be doing much absorbing of anything I say, to be honest. But yeah, have at it. Listen to it, watch it, leave it on in the background, and go hoover your socks. I have no idea. But the people hoover these days, I have laminated flooring. We usually just use a sweeping brush and like give it a once over with like what are those mop things called? Every now and again. So yeah, we do have a hoover because we did used to have carpet. And we recently had an incident with the big brush. I say incident, like I broke it in half. I don't know how, because like I'm a wee 5'3" woman, but apparently my powers be strong and my might be fierce, and I broke this brush in half. So we didn't have the brush for a while, and I therefore had to concede defeat and use the hoover for like a week until we picked up a new brush, because we kept forgetting to pick one up at the shop while we were there. Like I've been meaning to get my daughter's eyes checked, the smallest one. She's like, right, I'm not a complete failure as a parent, like just hear me out. A phone to hell visitor because she's got a wonky eye, but her dad's got a wonky eye, so we're not entirely like worried about it. Could be a genetic thing where they need to put patches on her eyes so it gets stronger, that sort of thing. But apparently the waiting list for the ophthalmologist, I want to say is the word. I was going to say the orthodontist, but that's my daughter's for teeth, so it's not that. The ophthalmologist at our local eye pavilion is going to take a long time. So the health visitor, which is something we have in the UK, you have till your kid is 5, till they go to school. It's just someone you can talk to. It comes out, checks their weight, makes sure obviously that all their health things are met, all their milestones are going fine, all that sort of jazz. So she was like, well, just ring your optician and have them check her just in case. Now this is like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but just in case there's obviously a serious underlying issue that we need to address immediately. Like, I'm gonna say worst for the worst here, which obviously we're not thinking about at all. Like in the case she had like a mass behind her eye, that was obviously be something that we would have to get dealt with, you know, ASAP. That was something that could not wait till her ophthalmologist appointment. Am I saying that right? If anyone knows what I'm talking about here, or you happen to be one, please let me know how to pronounce that word. Ophthalmologist. The dyslexia is strong. Anyway, so obviously, just on the very slim chance that something like that could happen, and my granny had a brain tumour, so it's not outside the realm of possibility, but it's not something we expect. It's probably most definitely just a wonky eye like her dad. So we are not worried about it. My whole point thing is like trying not to worry about things until it's something we need to worry about, because otherwise fear doesn't exist. It's not something tangible, but we give it, like as humans, we give it a lot of power because obviously it was used in our survival as human beings. I'm just like moving about on the couch just now, guys, so I can get more comfortable. There we go. So obviously, as we were back in the days of yore, when we needed fear to stay alive, obviously back then it was an essential thing to have, but currently at the minute we give it a lot more credit than we need to, I feel. So I try not to worry about things that I don't immediately need to pay attention to, because what's the point in giving myself stress and giving myself fear when there's literally nothing I can do about it, or you know, I don't have all the facts in order to deal with it. So obviously since I recorded my last video, the Queen has died, so that happened. I'm not a royalist, but I did respect the Queen, and I'm going to tell you why, because that's what you're all here for. Her uncle, if you didn't know, was the king, and her uncle wanted to marry an American woman who was divorced, which obviously in our day and age, fine, you know, whatever makes you happy, on you go, crack on. But obviously back then, oh no, that's a big no, can't be doing that, oh no, oh geez, oh dear. So the powers that be, mainly the company that runs the royal family, were like, oh no, we can't be doing that, you're gonna have to hand in your notice there, pal. So that's what he did. He abstained from is that the right word? He gave up the throne anyway. So he gives up the throne, and then old Queenie Girl's dad becomes king. Now he was never expecting to be king, so there was that, and then so obviously then she became queen. So it was a position that her father had never wanted for himself or for her. But if she, at the time, she was already a mother to Charles, so if she hadn't taken a position, the other choices were her sister or her infant son. So, what would you rather? Would you rather put that burden upon yourself or upon your child or other family members? So she took it on the chin, played the game, and worked a job for over 70 years that she never wanted. So, for that reason alone, I mean, anybody that works a job for 70 years that they never wanted to do for the sake of their family, I will put my utmost respect in. On you go, fair enough. Well done to yourself, hen. I don't necessarily think that the UK as a whole necessarily needs a monarchy anymore, especially considering how they have treated other members of their family, for instance Harry and Meghan, considering the mental health aspect of their whole relationship, and when they needed help, they were basically told to sit down, shut up, and go with the flow. And if they had done that, Meghan certainly wouldn't be here. The poor lassie wanted to kill herself. And nobody, whether you're a pauper or a royal, should be put in that position. Whether a job, literally a job, is more important than your life, because it is not. I don't care what title you have. I don't care what position you are in. Your mental health is paramount to than what you do. Your health is more important than your position, your title, or your job. And they apparently didn't think so. So obviously, unfortunately, Harry's been bumped for the whole inheritance thing because he is no longer an active royal. But I bet your ass that Prince Andrew, the Queen's son, will be getting some inheritance, and that man is a predator. So, well, an assumed predator. What's her face was paid off so that it didn't go to trial. So he was never legally charged with anything, but anybody in that position with that amount of authority, and given who his parents were, was obviously not going to face a legal trial over being a potential paedophile. But anyway. So apparently Andrew is back in the good books because, woe is me, his mother's dead. Which I do sympathise. I did admire the Queen. I do sympathise with Charles and Edward and Anne. And to some extent Andrew, because it was his mother, but I don't agree that his transgressions should be overlooked just because he has lost a parent. And why is it okay for this man to allegedly ruin someone's life and allegedly be a predator, but it's not okay for someone who isn't an heir, has no... the line of succession is pretty out there. Harry has no... I don't think he has any desires to be king. I mean, why would you if you have your life managed like that would be horrendous for anybody. So he's not essential to the throne or the monarchy at large, just like his descendants will obviously be related to the crown, but none of his descendants will be direct lines of success. Like some of them will obviously be in the line of succession, but unless there was like a catastrophic problem where the majority of the crown was taken out, then neither him nor his children and their offspring and etc. are ever going to see the throne. So why not just let the guy live his life in America with his wife? I don't see the issue. But because it's not the done thing by them. It's, oh, you can't talk about certain things in the media. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, you can't do that. And I'm sorry, but that sort of thinking by, like, I do understand. I was brought up like quite proper. As I mentioned before, I know what cutlery to use, I know how to walk properly, I know how to effing curtsy, for God's sake. My husband's just like staring at me like, what the crap are you talking about? You behave. Yeah, so like my grandmother like loved the royals. She was a big royalist, and she was quite a proper lady. But the way of thinking back then doesn't stand up to scrutiny anymore. We can't, it's not right or proper anymore to keep these things hushed. Because way back when, if you talked about your mental health and killing yourself, people would lock you up. Back when husbands had authorities over their wives, if you like even gave the slightest hint that you were mentally unstable, you would have been locked away in an institution and forgotten. My husband's just like, didn't he? Like, like you could. I'd like to see him try. That would be a humorous afternoon that tragically ended in his death. Anyway, we're fine. There's no domestic abuse going on here. But yeah, it's not. They're trying to protect a way of life that should not be protected anymore. And I get it, I understand, it's the way they've been raised, it's, like that, the older generation have been raised to believe, oh, you deal with everything yourself, you don't talk about your problems, like just be strong, suck it up, and keep going. But look at all the soldiers after like World War One and Two. that had PTSD and mental problems and all the issues that came with that, and they didn't get any help, although they desperately needed it. Uh, like, nobody should have to sacrifice their mental health uh, just because they're a prince or a princess or anything else in between. It's just not right. Uh, so yeah, I completely support Harry and Meghan and everything, moving their family to a whole different country. Well, Meghan, she's from America. Well, I don't know if she's. I'm not. I don't know if she's from America or if she immigrated to America or if it was her mum that immigrated. I'm not entirely sure on the whole Meghan backstory. Uh, but like, they should just be left in peace to live their lives the way they want with their children. Uh, and I don't understand why they're being dragged through the mud because they're not doing what other people want them to do. They're not going to play the pretty part of being a royal. Where did I put my gold blocks? Like, as Harry said in some of his interviews, he was like, I had like no idea like about certain aspects of life before he met his wife. And I can completely understand that because he's been coddled his whole life. He's only been shown what they wanted him to see, and unfortunately now he is thinking for himself and he doesn't like what he's been shown. So that'll be 175. And why would you want to raise your kids somewhere that has been like in the same way that has traumatized you? You know, it's mind-boggling. Just because that's what happened to me, that's what should happen to you. No, that's a ridiculous opinion to have. If I had that opinion, then I'd be an alcoholic, and my kids would have to deal with me, and that would be okay because that's how I was raised. No. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys know. That's my little royal rant for today. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.